welcome to the NEC Arena, they're now known as the Genting Arena. Seen some great nights of boxing over the years, and I've got to say I'm mightily impressed by the facilities here, walking around the Genting Hotel, obviously the Crown Plaza as well, Resorts World there, and we're ready for a big night of boxing for the city on Saturday night. After the madness of last week, it's a card that I'm really excited about, particularly the main event. I think trade fight is a term that gets bounded around a lot in boxing at the moment, but this is definitely one that's got everybody in boxing talking. Definitely one that has mixed opinions amongst fans, trainers, promoters, managers. Two completely different styles, and I can't wait to see how it rolls out on Saturday Night Live on Sky Sports. To talk about a packed card, I'm going to mention a couple of the guys on the bottom table as well. There's some big area, English title fights, and of course a number of young prospects coming through from Birmingham and the surrounding areas. A young man down at the bottom table, Charlie Williams, who has a huge amount of support, just starting off in his career, and really excited to see him fight on Saturday night, sample the atmosphere as well. Young Jordan Cook, who has been on a number of our shows and working with Dave Coldwell, a real talent, and pleasure to have him back on. Cello Render, who's definitely not starting out on his boxing career. He's been around a long time, but always gives us tremendous value for money, fighting Mike Biles on Saturday night. And one of the fights that I'm so excited about, and I'm pushing and will be live on Sky Sports as well, is Michael Rooney against Marcus French for the Midlands area title. I think it's a cracking fight. Two really exciting young fighters. Michael's been on a number of our shows now in Birmingham, and really now it's crunch time for both of those guys stepping up, putting it all on the line. Both very exciting styles, and that's going to be live on Sky Sports for us as well. On the top table, a night on Saturday where plenty is on the line for all of them. First of all, young Gamal Yafai, who is in his first title fight against Commonwealth Super Bantamweight champion Bobby Jenkinson. I think all of these young prospects come off the podium squad and the Olympic squad. Gamal has had wonderful schooling. He's had great progression in the professional ranks, but now is his acid test. In with Bobby Jenkinson, who's really come on the blind side. A fantastic performance against Louis Petit to win the Super Bantamweight title. And this is a real solid test for Gamal Yafai. We know he's got the pedigree, we know he's got the potential. Now he's got to do it in the ring against a very impressive champion in Bobby Jenkinson. Dixon Flores, whose only defeat in his last 7 was for the WBC World Super Flyweight title. Another Nicaraguan opponent for Cal Yafai. I think that's 4 now for you? Fifth opponent. And but again, the biggest test of his career so far. WBA eliminator for the world title and the Intercontinental WBA title as well on the line. Cal is further down the line than Gamal. He's already world ranked in most of the governing bodies. We're already in talks with Kohei Kono, the WBA champion, to get that fight for the summer. But first of all, the toughest test of Cal's career so far against Dixon Flores. The main event is just a cracking fight. Two top lads, two top fighters. Bradley Skeete, one of the most skillful fighters in the division, the domestic division at 147 pounds. We know he's had a fantastic camp. Sky's Ed Robinson, just to let you know, Sam, he's definitely backing Bradley Skeete for this fight, local favourite. But I think I'm really excited about this fight. I think Bradley is, there's been a lot of talk about the boxer against the fighter. I think both of them are going to have to do a little bit of everything in this fight. And Sam Eggington, which the story we all know, come through. Hey Marcus, come sit down, mate. I've already done your bit. Rooney said you got no chance. Hey mate, sit in there. Can't have you sitting next to Michael. We all know the story about Sam Eggington, we've told it 100 times, coming through prize fighter at the age of I think 19. Came down to John Pegg's gym, talking about becoming a journeyman. Now holds the WBC International, the British, the Commonwealth, welterweight titles, and really is improving every single time. This time, it's a much different fight. The fight against Dale Evans, Dale does exactly what it says on the tin. Came in at late notice, was due to fight the much more skillful Frankie Gavin. And in fights before, whether it be Denton Vassell or Glenn Foote, he's had to fight a similar style opponent. Now he has to use his experience, what he's learned over the last 2 or 3 years with John Pegg, the sparring out in Vegas, to really take on an opponent that he's never kind of had to fight that style before. By far the toughest fight of his career so far, and I can't wait. It's a real 50-50 fight, and that'll be our main event on Sky Sports in the ring around 10:30. Charlie, obviously I've seen your social media, you're buzzing for Saturday night. I've got to say, your kit, your t-shirts, your jumpers, your fight shorts, if you can fight like your kit, we've got a big future with you, and I know you're very excited about Saturday night.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to Johnny Pegg for giving me the opportunity, and obviously Matchroom. I've pushed everything I can on social media just to get the ticket sales, to get everyone behind me in my local area as I live in Tamworth. I'm a massive Birmingham City fan. I've been on the pitch promoting my fight and just doing everything I can just to get some kind of backing and hopefully do the job on the night.
Jordan, obviously, probably in the position Charlie was in probably 3 or 4 fights ago, and now progressing, looking good, and looking at moving in towards title fights towards the end of this year.
Yeah, definitely. As you said before, it's my 3rd time boxing on a Matchroom card, so thank you, Eddie, for the opportunity as well, and thanks to my manager, Dave Caldwell. 7-0 at the moment now, so got a tough fight against Lee Connolly Saturday night, and then we're looking at pushing on from there to area titles and beyond that as well.
Chella, obviously your original opponent not here, but actually probably just as tough a fight in Mike Biles, and I've seen your stuff on social media as well. You're looking in great shape and excited for the weekend.
Thank you, yeah, and again thank you everybody that's turned up today. Thank you, Eddie, for keeping on the bill. I know my opponent's changed, but my manager and trainer John Pegg's been on the case and got me an opponent straight away, and me being me, I said yes straight away as well. Again, massive thank you to everyone that's bought tickets, because we wouldn't be sat here today if none of you guys bought tickets, so thank you very much. But again, you know, as I always do, I always train very hard. I've got another opponent now, and he's gonna, if anything, I think he might be a tougher opponent. You know, he's raw, he's strong, he comes, lets his hands go, which is great, because, you know, if he's letting his hands go, he's not defending himself. Once I hit him, it's good night. So I'm ready. I'm going to be hitting it hard. I'm going to be ferocious. I'm going to be dangerous. I'm going to be throwing so many punches. You're going to think there's 2 of me in there. I'm going to be on the ball. It's unreal, you know, because, you know, opportunities like this don't come every day. So I'm going to take it with both hands, and he's going to take my right hand.
Thanks, Jelly. Marcus, you missed it earlier. I was saying your fight with Michael. It's a cracking fight, great mix of styles. I've pushed hard, and we're going to get this one live on Sky Sports as well. You both sold a huge amount of tickets. Atmosphere is going to be great, and I think we know what to expect on Saturday from you two.
Yeah, definitely. I've trained hard, I've had a great camp, made the weight right, and I'm just ready to, like, when it comes to fight night, Rooney's going to be in for a shock, you know, because I want this more than anything. You know, it's live on Sky Sports. It means everything to me, so you'll see that come Saturday night.
Michael, obviously you've had the apprenticeship, your first title fight on Saturday night. Definitely the toughest test, and brought a huge amount of fans down to the arena as well. Live on Sky Sports, you're ready to go?
Yeah, more than ready to go. Excited to be fighting live on Sky, which is fantastic. Myself against Marcus, you know, it's a lot of people have really dubbed this up, and there's a bit of hype around it, so it's exciting, and this is the reason we started boxing, to be involved in these sort of fights. A lot of people are saying it's a 50-50 fight. This is not a 50-50 fight. It's a fight that I'm going to win comfortably, and you will all see that. Marcus is going to be a stepping stone to me onto bigger and better things. I'm expecting a tough night to work, but I believe this fight's about levels, and I am one above Marcus, no doubt.
We had a great camp, obviously the facilities at the new MGM gym now in Birmingham. I went down there, looked fantastic, and I know Seamus is very pleased with your camp.
Yeah, no, very pleased. The facilities are fantastic, as always, with the MGM setup, and that's great. Camp's gone fantastically well, sparring hard. So yeah, I'm really pleased with everything and where we're at, and you know, this fight's come at the right time, and due to the fact it's live on Sky, I believe this is going to be another opportunity for me to shine, really, and that's exactly what I intend to do on Saturday night.
Thank you, Michael. Gamal, I guess the apprenticeship's over.
Yeah.
You know, all these fights that have been there for you to learn, the experiences boxing all over the country. I remember when we ran in the change room and told you at Wembley, in front of 80,000 people, probably 10 minutes before Froch Groves 2, that you were on. Those kind of experiences key to you, but we know this is by far the toughest fight of your career so far.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a hard fight. I've trained hard for it. I've lived a life for the past 12 weeks for this camp. But this is the easy part, Saturday night, and there's only going to be one winner.
You've had a great camp, and obviously sparring as well. I understand sneakily you sparred a lot with Carl Frampton in the build-up to the fight as well.
Well, he messaged me and he just asked if I could sort the sparring out for the fight. So couldn't turn it down, could I?
So we got you to blame for that.
Well, he paid me good, so couldn't turn it down. So
you've obviously watched the Jenkinson Petite fight.
Yeah.
I think the styles will be fantastic for both of you on Saturday night.
Yeah.
No one's going to be looking for any space in the ring. Everyone's going to be coming forward. The kind of fight that you need to be involved with, you've got to keep your head and keep to the tactics as well. We know you love to fight, stand and fight, but a 12-round championship contest, you've got to be smart too.
Yeah, I can do both. I can box and fight. He's one-dimensional. He can only fight really and come forward. So it doesn't matter. There's only going to be one winner, and it's going to be me. So
Bobby, one-dimensional apparently, but I know your confidence levels have gone through the roof since the Lewis Petite fight, and I know yourself and the camp are very confident coming into this fight.
Yeah, definitely. Training's gone a lot better this time. Obviously, Lewis Petite was saying about me in my last fight, coming up with excuses and this and that, and no one knows that before that fight, I'd had about 8 weeks off. I took the fight at 6-week notice. My girlfriend just had a little daughter, baby daughter. I was bringing her up. I took the fight when my daughter was 2 months old, and I was going to work every day, training while I was doing it. And this time I've been a lot better. I've had time off work. My daughter's sleeping a lot better now, so training's gone so much better. I've been sparring a lot more. Everything's gone so much better. I'm going to be a lot stronger, a lot fitter, a lot better. And I will. When I boxed Petite, Lewis Petite was coming up with excuses and all this, and picked him off for 5 rounds, and he won the 5 rounds after that, but it was close. I caught him with a hell of a left hook and put him down, and Lewis Petite's not getting return. When I beat Gamal, that's it.
Obviously, we saw a big super bantamweight fight the weekend, and now you hold a major title in that division. I know those guys are some way off at the moment, but how excited are you to be part of that mix? And a big win on TV against Gamal Yafai would take you a step closer to the bigger fights, whether it's Gavin McDonnell, or all the other big names we see in the division.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really excited. I can't wait for it. I'm really excited. Yeah.
Dixon, welcome. I've seen plenty of footage of you on YouTube.
He doesn't talk a lot.
You're going to have to translate, obviously. And very exciting young fighter, and a tough fight against Cal on Saturday.
Dice que va a ser una pelea fuerte contra Cal Yafai y que como te encuentras, que ha mirado en YouTube y también se boxea bastante bien.
bueno, pues sí, verdad, va a ser una pelea muy aguerrida, que ya ustedes lo conocen a su rival, a su peleador, que es un peleador muy fuerte, muy bueno. Y la verdad pues que yo soy muy bueno también, yo tengo lo mío y vengo a ganarle a Yafai con la fe en Dios y en mí mismo. Yo ya he estado con peleadores de frente de buen nivel y de buena pegada, y hemos hecho buen trabajo, y espero en Dios que me va a dar la oportunidad de ganarle a Yafai.
I've seen Cal Yafai fight a few fights. He knows he's a good boxer, but he's also been with a few very good boxers. He's rated higher than Cal Yafai, so he's come here to take revenge for what's happened to Rosales, who's his stablemate.
Thank you. Cal, I know we talked about Kohei Kono after the Kameda fight, and that's, I think, the clear target for us for 2016. But I know you've also watched Dixon Flores, and you expect a tough fight on Saturday.
Yeah, I've studied him well. He doesn't really do anything that I don't think I can handle. He's pretty decent early on in the fights, but I see that he fades, and he fades heavily after 3 or 4 rounds. So I just don't think he's going to be able to handle anything that I've come in on Saturday.
How ready do you feel you are for the likes of Kona? I mean, I was at ringside for that fight. I was on the Cleverly bill. Fantastic fighter, but you know the division is generally thin, and you know we're running out of options now. And sooner or later, obviously we've got to get through Saturday night, but that world title shot's going to come.
Yeah, I expect a performance on Saturday for myself that makes all the other top super flyweights in the world look and think, I don't want to fight that kid. And after I deal with this kid, then we'll move on to the likes of Kohei Kono and take his title off him too.
Bradley, I know you've had a great camp. We've had our spies out. Ed Robinson's been down there a lot. Put him in it again. But seriously, a big fight for you. I know you're really excited.
Yeah.
And what many see as a 50-50 fight, I'm sure both of you don't quite see it that way. But I think styles, although they don't necessarily gel, will make for an intriguing clash on Saturday.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, I've had a great training camp. I know I've had to have a great training camp because I've got to be on my A game to beat Sam, and that's what I've done. I've been in the gym, knocked it down, trained hard, come up to Birmingham now, and it's nearly here.
How does the I know you're not going to give the tactics away you and now, but obviously, you know, we know from the outset how it looks to be. You're a fantastic boxer. Sam loves to fight, but again, you feel you'll both have to do a bit of both of that on Saturday night to be successful.
Definitely, that's the good thing about boxing. No one knows until we get in there and the bell goes. No one knows what's going to happen. So, listen, it's been talked as I'm the boxer, he's the baller sort of thing, but he can box as well. I can fight. So just literally, it's a 12-round fight. So there's going to be hard times for both of us. I know. So it's just literally all in the night what goes down.
Sam, topping the bill again. This time in a new arena. Again, huge support for you on Saturday night. Probably, I think you'll agree, the toughest fight of your career so far?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the toughest. It's definitely the most trickiest fight that I'm going to deal with so far because, you know, like you say, Bradley's, you know, he's clever inside the rope, so, you know, we'll see. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a tricky fight for a few rounds, no doubt.
How excited are you to being involved in a fight like that, where you can actually show what you've learned over the years, rather than just the Sam Eggington that people know, which is to stand and fight? You're going to have to show something much more to win this fight on Saturday night.
Yeah, like you say, like I said, he's clever, so, you know, he's not going to come and get involved like a few of my last fights, where, you know, it suits me down to the ground. But you know, I feel like what I've done and the sparring I've had, the things I've learned in the gym, you know, will bring me through this fight quite comfortably.
Obviously, as well, people talk about you've got to apply pressure from the first round. Do you feel the need to do that? Do you feel the pressure to push the fight earlier on, or are you happy to, you know, to play the game with Bradley?
You know, I'm happy to play the game because, you know, whether you're 6 foot tall or 5 foot 8, if you can box, you'll probably win a few rounds against me. There's no doubt. But you know, I feel my style is to pressure the fight anyway. So hopefully, you know, that there's no doubt that I'll be putting the fight on, like bringing the fight to him. And if we have to be a few tricky rounds where we both have to do a bit of boxing, I suppose. But you know, I'm quite confident in that as well. We're both, you know, Bradley's fought a lot of, we both fought a lot of small guys. But I suppose Bradley just chose to box him, whereas I've chose to get involved. So, you know, Bradley's touted as a boxer because, you know, he chooses to box that way. It's just that I don't. It's not that I can't. It's just that I don't. So, you know, we'll see on Saturday. But, you know, I'm quite confident whether we fight or box, you know, that it'll be a very competitive fight. But I'm sure I can make the winner.
An unbelievable progression in your career, obviously, since the early days. I suppose you're bored of everyone talking about that now, but there's absolutely no room for error on Saturday night. It's a must-win fight for the career of Sam Eggington. Yeah,
like you say, it's people have like jumped on the bandwagon as well. You know, the story, and you know, where I'm coming to be a journeyman and I've won a few titles, but you know that can go wrong pretty fast. So, you know, we need to win every fight. Every fight's important. This could have been a 6-round tick-over fight. If I lost it, you know, it doesn't matter what titles are on the line. You know, if you lose your next fight, you know, it's always going to take you back a few steps. So, every fight's got to be the most important fight of your career. So you know, this is the way we've treated this one, and we've trained hard for it.
Thank you. You're a breath of fresh air in a mad business of egos and politics. I think the guys up here are going to give you all action on Saturday night and a great night of boxing at the Genting Arena. We can't wait. Thank you so much for being here. The weigh-in tomorrow is going to be at 1 p.m. right in this very spot. All the guys here are going to be available for one-on-ones. We'll get the heating on, yeah. And well, we've got to pay for that, haven't we? And we can't wait for Saturday. Once again, it's our third show in Birmingham. We thank you for all the support. Everybody that's been involved, from the matchmakers to manager, of course, Peggy as well. You know, it's wonderful to have so many young fighters from Midland progressing, and 4 fantastic televised fights coming at you on Saturday night. Some real 50-50s, imperative fights in the future of all these young men. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.